Happy August. Is your brain melting? I feel like my brain is, oh, my credit score went up. I don't believe in credit scores, but I do like games. And so when my score goes up really under any circumstance, I do feel excited. But credit scores are bullshit. That's not what this video is about. What is this video about? This video is about Mars fucking with our shit again, which feels illegal. It shouldn't be allowed to go retrograde in Cancer and then also enter Libra later the same year. But here we are. Mars is entering Libra on August 6th. It's going to be there through, it's like 6 weeks. It's like late September. This is a tricky transit because of all of the aspects that it's making once it enters Libra. And also, Mars is debilitated in the sign of Libra. It's said to be in detriment. This means that Mars has a really difficult time expressing itself in the way that it wants to when it's in Libra. Mars is a fighter, a champion, a warrior. Mars wants to put effort in and feel like it's winning something. Mars loves adversity. Mars doesn't feel like a hero unless it's fighting for something. And Libra is a sign that's ruled by Venus. Venus doesn't want to fight. Venus wants to fuck. Libra is a sign that values peace and peacemaking and social intercourse and a balanced, even exchanging of energy, not domination or dominion. So Mars really struggles in Libra because there's such a heavy consideration on what's best for everyone, not what's best for me, which is what Mars cares about. When Mars is in Libra, it feels like the reins are pulled so tight on any conflict or advocacy. I have Mars in Libra, and the experience of feeling like I have to be beyond reproach if I enter into any kind of conflict kills me. Libra demands that you adhere to a higher standard and that you exercise discipline. Mars doesn't want any of those things. And it's not just that Mars is going to be in a sign that it struggles in. As soon as Mars enters Libra, it's also entering into a larger set of aspects. It's a configuration called a kite. So it's going to be forming a grand air trine with Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus in Gemini. Trines are positive aspects, and they have a quality of just like, oh, it just unfolds. You don't actually have to put any effort in. It's just time for this energy to flow into being. It's a grand trine because all three of the air signs are involved. So Mars is in Libra, Pluto's in Aquarius, Uranus is in Gemini. That's all three of the air signs of the zodiac. The element of air has to do with intellectualism, rationality, social connection, and interaction. Air signs are also associated with technology, and there's like a connotation or an undercurrent with air signs of like human transcendence of our animal nature through our rational mind. Air signs are about the analysis, the discourse. They're removed from what an experience feels like in favor of kind of coldly observing from afar. Trines are considered positive aspects, like I said, but you have to consider who the players are and what their priorities are. It's like okay, good for who, you know? Mars is a fighter and a warrior. Pluto is the god of death, and Uranus is the wild card. So what's good for these planets and the energies they bring may not feel good for you in the moment. Another thing that Mars is doing as soon as it enters Libra is it's forming an opposition with Saturn and Neptune in Aries. This is massively tense. I've already discussed the contradictory nature of Mars and Libra, and it's making an opposition with Saturn in Aries. Saturn is in fall in the sign of Aries. It does not do well in Aries, and it's because of a very similar contradiction of energies. Saturn is the planet of time, of patience, of maturity, hard-won wisdom that takes its time to show up for you. And Aries is immediacy. Aries wants to act now, act quickly, and so again, we see this contradiction between provocative circumstances and what our behavioral standards are for ourselves. What kind of situations are capable of pulling you out of yourself and making you act in ways you don't recognize and don't approve of? These two are experiencing this like bizarro version of something called mutual reception, which is typically a good thing. It's when two planets are in each other's signs, and so they have a mutual interest in making the situation a little easier for each other. But this is like the worst possible version of mutual reception. Maybe what we're looking at is more of a mutually assured destruction rather than like a mutually beneficial outcome. It's these two like archetypal, eternal foes who cannot win, because to triumph over the enemy would be to end your own existence too. There's almost like a Cold War quality to this opposition. And with Neptune there, with Saturn, it's like one or more parties are so committed to their dream of what could be that they are not really living in the reality of what is right now. They are so committed to bringing their imagined future into existence that they are not here with us anymore. You know what I mean? So all of that I've just described is playing out in early August. And I think that we are all going to, in some way or another, be experiencing that tension that I've described between what is the mature, wise, disciplined thing to do? What are my standards for how I navigate difficult situations? And what kind of situations are simply so triggering, so provocative and activating that I can't adhere to those standards that I've held myself to in the past. And hearing these words come out of my mouth, I can't help but think about the Holocaust that we're witnessing in Gaza, and how many of us have just repeatedly been asking ourselves, how bad does it have to get? Like, what's the tipping point? If it wasn't arresting protesters, then what would it have been? If it wasn't bombing hospitals, what would it have been? If it wasn't starving children, what would it have been? Those should have been tipping points, you know? And like, at what point is very decisive, immature action actually the most responsible, wise thing? Are we in a situation where adhering to an acceptable, appropriate code of conduct is actually contributing to harm? Just something to think about. I hope this video was helpful and interesting. If you liked it, please leave me a like and make sure to follow me. Click the bell on my profile page to get notified of when I go live if you'd like to chat with me live. If something was said in this video that you think could benefit someone else, make sure that you share it. And if you'd like to work with me personally, click the mushroom and visit the site listed. I would love to work with you. Good job today. Good luck out there.